Hello, hello. Today I wanted to talk about the monthly Makers Challenge through Goimagine. Make sure you stay to the end of this video because I have a funny story to share with y'all from my recent vacation, and I think is pretty extreme, insane. I'm not sure the best word to use for it, but it is definitely interesting. But yeah, just want to talk about the Maker Challenge. So if you go to goimagine.com and you scroll all the way down, you will see the button here to join a Maker Challenge and unleash your creativity. And if you scroll a little bit farther up here, it's showing the most recent Maker Challenge that ended, called Daily Grind. And after this is ended and the winners are chosen, then they put this on the front page for a while. And so if you click this Shop Now button, then you see all of those who participated in that challenge, starting with the winner and the finalist. And then it goes down and shows you the top submissions. These were the other ones that were up for vote. There's just 6 up for vote each time. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, then you see all of the rest of the ones that were submitted basically for the challenge. And so I counted these, and there's 75 that were entered. And I asked recently, and someone said that there's generally about 100. I haven't looked back to see if there's any way to count them individually, but this one I counted, and it was 75 total submissions. So if you enter a Maker's Challenge and you don't win, don't be surprised, because that's a lot of competition, and so you really got to try to think outside the box. I recommend only joining this if you have put some true effort into it and don't just throw anything into here. But at the same time, I do feel like the more Makers Challenges that you enter, the more exposure your shop is going to get, and the more likely that you are going to be selected as a finalist, and potentially win if you're voted for the most. So it's definitely something worth entering, but at the same time, just throwing any old thing on there that sort of kind of fits with the theme, that kind of thing is not necessarily worth the effort. And you don't want to just look silly and throw anything in there, basically. So this one was obviously all about coffee, Daily Grind, and we could see a lot of really good submissions. The winner was this sweater that is really super cute, and then right below that is a tapestry type thing that was very unique and has this coffee pot pouring out, so that was pretty neat. There was some earrings, polymer earring, stud earrings there, this coffee measuring spoon, this, I don't know what this is called. If I'd have to click on it to get the details, but this stand thingy that, yeah, I don't know. It's copper. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I don't make coffee, old-fashioned ways or anything, but this is a way of making coffee, like a French press type way or something. Then we've got some soaps here, and then you've got the more to consider area, which has all sorts of things, jewelry, decor, everything under the sun. This one was mine here. And this is a magnet set. It's also painted with real coffee. So I really felt like this was, kind of a standout item. There's not a lot of things in here that are made with real coffee. Not a lot of people paint with coffee. It's really fun. It smells amazing. And I made these 3 magnets, and the brown parts of this are all basically kind of stained with coffee. And then the middle one there is a vinyl decal to make it look like the art that they do on the top of, espressos and stuff that you can get from fancier coffee shops. So that was my whole thought process. A lot of my pictures have little coffee beans around them. And yes, I did use real coffee, and it was fun. And they do smell like coffee, and they will smell like coffee for a while. They eventually won't really smell very strong like coffee anymore, but I think it's really cool. I like having having things that smell like coffee around my house personally. So I was excited about it, but of course I did not win, but that's okay. You know, getting your product out there is important. I have heard that some people scroll through these after the fact, and they, you know, find a lot of great items this way, and they make purchases and things based on looking through these. So it's definitely not, you know, don't bother doing it kind of thing at all. You know, it's definitely worth trying, even if you do have the, you know, 1 in 75, you know, chance of winning. You know, and the makers, the folks in charge of Goimagine, sorry, I'm under the weather a little bit, so my brain's not working right, but I can't think of the word that I'm going for, but somebody chooses these top submissions. They choose 6 for us to all vote on, and then we all can vote on this. And this can be, you can send this to your friends and family, and they should be able to vote on it, I believe. I'm not sure the exact rules. I think they have to have a Goimagine account, so that could be a seller account or a buyer account. You don't have to sell on Goimagine to vote on this, from what I understand. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that. Let me know if I'm being crazy, if someone sees this and they're like, no, you have to be a seller. But I'm pretty sure it's buyers and sellers. So, you know, you can gain some more votes by talking to your friends and family, but you have to make it into the final 6 to start with. And the final 6 is chosen basically by Stephanie Romke. Probably is the number 1 person, but possibly some other folks that, you know, like John Lincoln and some other folks that are in charge of Goimagine, who created Goimagine, founded Goimagine. That's the word I was looking for. So anyways, and they're going to base that off of the photos and, you know, how well it fits with the theme and, you know, what they think are the best products. And, you know, part of that is just personal opinion. So, you know, you could see something on there and be like, oh, mine's way better than that. But, you know, you can't really think that way because it's all just personal, you know, opinion and what catches their eye, what stands out to them. So anyways, that's kind of the perks behind joining these challenges and what happens. And there are prizes for the challenges, and we'll get into that in a second. I think that talks about that here. So I went back to the main page here. I'm just in the main Goimagine page, and then down at towards the bottom, they have the Maker Challenge. Join a challenge and unleash your creativity. So if you click on that, it will show you some information, how to participate. You have to have the item actively listed in your Goimagine shop. I think it might be okay if it's considered hidden in your Goimagine shop. It has to be something that the team can access, and then you have a spot to submit on here, and you put the link to your item and everything on there. Here it is. So to qualify, the submission must be active in your Goimagine shop. The Meet the Maker section of your shop must be filled out. The How It's Made section is encouraged but not required, and each shop may enter up to 2 products for each challenge. And if you win a challenge, you can still, you know, enter free future challenges. It's not just a you won once, you're out kind of thing at all. And of course, you know, if you didn't win, you can of course keep doing it every time. You can do it every single month with a new challenge. What if my item sells? You can still qualify as long as the item remains in active status. So then you would just need the quantity to show 0 available, but you would need to keep it in active status so it can be judged by the Goimagine team. So that's how they do that. So all submissions will be judged by the Goimagine team, and the top 6 will be selected for a public vote. The voting window will be open shortly after the submissions close and will last for 1 week. The top 2 submissions will be featured on Goimagine and through social media. The winner will receive 3 months of free subscription fees, and the finalist will get 1 month of a free subscription fee, and that would be for whichever subscription you have at that time. So, you know, depends on which subscription you have, what the value of that is. So then they show you the active challenges that are going on. So currently, due by October 21st is this Muted Harvest. And, you know, it's nice to read through their description of this because this is really what they're looking for. So, you know, it's good to read their description of what their theme, what they consider it to be. And then there's a Sparkle City Disco, and that one's due by by November 22nd, and then there's a Motivate and Inspire that's due by January 24th of 2025. And you can do these, you can submit these as early as you want. You don't have to wait until a certain date. You don't have to wait for the muted harvest to be over before you submit for the Sparkle City Disco. You can, do all of that in advance. So there might be a little bit of a advantage to doing it in advance, because if they don't have any submissions yet and you submit for Motivate and Inspire well in advance, for example, that might catch their eye and help you stand out a little bit. So that would be a possible strategy for getting their attention, doing something far in advance. But yeah, that's basically that. And then once you have items that you want to submit, you want to hit submit your entry here, and then it asks you a few questions here, and so you want to make sure to answer these and hit submit, and then it lets you know your thing is submitted, basically. Your challenge entry is submitted. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to do. You just have to, put as much work as you can into these. Make sure that the descriptions are filled out. The title is, how they would prefer it. It should be fairly short. Things like that are possibly going to help your chances of winning. I can't guarantee that. I don't know what's inside the folks' heads who are deciding these things, but I would think that you want to follow as many Goimagine best practices as you can in order to win or be chosen as a finalist for these challenges. I can't think of anything else to really say about it, except for I just think it's important to just not just find something in your shop and be like, yeah, that falls under muted harvest, and throw it on there. You really want to have thought in advance and really try to capture the theme, and also try to have it be something unique. So you don't want to look just like 4 other entries for that same thing. You really want it to be something different and unique, and you want to take the best pictures possible that you can. And I do have videos on my channel here about taking pictures and photographing your items. So if you haven't done that yet and you don't feel like you're doing a great job with photos, definitely take a look at those videos. And that's one of the things that I would say is probably the most important, is to just take as good photos as you possibly can. You want it to be light and bright and easy to see, but also represent the item very accurately, and you want to have multiple photos. It's really good to have at least 3 or 4 photos of your product whenever you can, and try to make sure it's clear what the size of the item is and all of that, because you just don't, you want the listing to be as perfect as possible, to possibly be selected. So yeah, that's basically all I have for that. I just wanted to go over that a little bit more. I've seen some people ask questions. They do post about these maker challenges in the social media posts and in Facebook and Instagram, and also in Maker Circle. So, definitely notice and check out the questions that people ask there, and then the, John Lincoln or Steph Romke will reply to those, and that will give you some hints as to what they're looking for and things like that sometimes too. So, sometimes you got to kind of read behind the lines, between the lines on, what they're looking for, and just, just do your best. That's all you can really do. But yeah, that's that. And then I just wanted to share my funny story. First of all, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos about Goimagine. I'm trying to get a lot of videos in before the busy season starts. And also give us a thumbs up if you found it interesting or helpful in any way. That really helps out my channel. But yeah, what I wanted to share with y'all. So this past week I went to Vegas for vacation, and it wasn't a crazy wild Vegas type thing. I'm in my 40s, and we spent some time at the pool, and we drank a tiny bit. Well, that wasn't definitely not the focus of it at all. And on the plane ride home, the plane was a little bit delayed. And so we were waiting at the airport, and my stomach was really upset. And I kept having to go into the restroom, and it was just like, And it's only a 2.5 hour flight maximum to get home. It's not a very long flight. And we got on the plane and we took off. And about 30 minutes in, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. And it took me a minute to be able to go to the bathroom. The person on the aisle seat was taking their time, like getting out of my way. And then at first when I wanted to go to the restroom, the beverage cart was going past, and so I had to wait a little bit for that. And I finally went to head down the aisle to get myself to the restroom, and apparently I passed out right in the middle of the aisle, about 6 rows back from where I was sitting. Completely passed out on the plane. Don't really know exactly how I fell or anything like that, but they almost had to turn the plane around. They were calling some number, and they were trying to determine whether they had to turn the plane around, and I was begging them to not do that, because I did not want to upset everybody else on the plane, and I really wanted to get home. But yeah, super embarrassing. There were 4 different nurses on the plane that were offering their help, and the flight attendants were extremely sweet, and it was just so embarrassing, and just everybody on the plane was staring at me. I felt, it was probably only within 5 rows up or down that anybody really knew what was going on, but still, it was really embarrassing, and I was very, very happy to get back home safely, and went to the doctor yesterday, and they checked me for a lot of different things and not really finding anything. I feel like I've been kind of sick and under the weather, not testing positive for COVID or flu or anything else. So, I'm just kind of taking it easy, and hopefully it was just, some kind of fluke or something. It was very hot in Vegas. It was over 105 some of the days that we were there, and we were only there for 4 days, but it was like between 100 and 107, I think, was the high one of the days. Tried to stay indoors, as much as possible during the hottest times, but I had some shows to go to, and, we had to walk, outside and some of that. And it's just like your eyeballs immediately dry up as soon as you walk outside, it was pretty extreme. But, yeah, so that's my funny story. The doctor's like, well, you'll have, a funny break the ice story if you ever need one, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, it's just was pretty traumatic, to be honest with you. It was pretty weird. And embarrassing. So anyways, that's my funny story. That's all I got for you guys. Hope everybody is having a fabulous October so far. It's starting to get close to the busy season, so stay tuned for some more videos. And then once I start getting a little bit busier, then the videos are going to dry up for a while, to be honest. So, and then they'll start up again after Black Friday, when things start to slow down more, because it's getting close to the too late to be shipped and arrive by Christmas time. So yeah, that's all I got. Let me know if you have any questions, any ideas for other videos you want to see in the comments, and I'll be back soon.